So how exactly do you get started investing even if you're broke? And I hate the idea that, hey, if you're broke, you must have a lot of time. So use that time wisely to then go ahead, get another job, and then put that money towards investments because it's not really true for everyone. When I was broke, I had two jobs and I also had a side hustle and I was still broke. So where was I going to find the time to basically use that money to invest? Like what was I going to do? Like work four jobs? You know what I mean? So it's a lot. So in this video right here, what I'm going to teach you is everything I learned at the age of 19 from my mentor. And back then, I was making $60 a week when I lost everything I basically had, okay? Now, $60 a week, I turned that into a business that made me $8,000 a month and also some investments that made me like around $36,000 a year without me really doing any work. But it all started with those $60. And by the way, my favorite story of all time is the story of the farmer, the man. You know, this guy, he has one seed. And the story goes, when a man only has one seed, and he wants to plant a garden, the answer is he should grab that seed and plant it, not wait until the seed doubles. And a lot of people have that mindset. I only have $1. I don't have enough to invest. No, you start with what you have because who knows when you're actually going to get more. And usually we all start, for example, at a certain level of income and then the money goes up, but the bills always go up too, okay? So the idea is we start with what we have. That is it. Now, as always, guys, do me a favor and smash the like button. I appreciate it a ton. On top of that, we have a goal, 500K by the end of the year. So go ahead and basically subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified because I have more videos on passive income and also investments on this channel. Now, the very first thing is, guys, I want to tell you what not to do when it comes to your money. When you're broke, the mind goes to a very weird place. The mind goes to very unrealistic methods of making money. A lot of them are legal, and a lot of them are illegal too, and a lot of them are just stupid overall, okay? The mind says, what we want to find out right now is, how do we turn this little amount of money into a big amount of money as fast as possible? Now, in reality, we all understand the rules of nature. No matter what I do, I can't force an oak tree that takes 30 years to grow in a day. That's just impossible. And a lot of people treat money the same way. In 1 year, you might be able to make an investment to double your money and so on, but how are you going to double your money just in 1 day or in 2 days? The answer is it's not going to happen. So I want you to forget about a few things. The first thing is I want you to forget about get rich quick schemes, okay? Whatever the amount of money you have is, whether it's $1 or, for example, $10,000, the answer is this is your capital. This is your money. So whenever you use that money to get involved in a get rich quick scheme and it doesn't work out, you didn't just lose money because when you're broke, every dollar costs you time. So you don't want to waste your money on get rich quick schemes. It's very stupid. Don't do it. Number two, the mind goes always to, hey, again, probability. I might not have a very good chance of this working out, but if it does work out, I'm going to make so much more money. That's called gambling. So stay away, please. Stay away from playing the lottery and stay away also from gambling. Don't play games overall that involve you having that mindset of, I know I don't have a chance of winning, but if I do though, stop.
Stop it. Get some help.
It's not worth it. Three, I also want you to forget about what everyone else is doing. Forget about what Billy is investing into. Forget about what Jenny just found out that somebody's flipping things over there. The answer is forget about all that. Remember, what everyone is doing, what the average person is doing doesn't matter. They're broke because the average person is broke. So if you follow the average person, you're going to end up broke. If I plant corn and you plant corn, you will get corn. You will get exactly what you planted. You will not get anything different. And that's a good thing because if you plant in good soil, good crop, you'll get good crop. But if everything you do is just risky, taking chances, oh my gosh, get rich quick scheme, you're probably not going to get anything. It's not worth it. I want you to take your mind away from this, especially when you're broke, because every time you lose money, you got to start over and it hurts a lot. Now, number two, what are going to be the best investments when it comes to being broke? Some people are going to be disappointed when I tell you this stuff because you're not going to hear about stocks. You're not going to hear about real estate. You know why? Because to get into real estate, you usually need some money, some level of credit. You need to take on leverage. To get into stocks, to make a decent amount of money, you need to invest a really good amount of money, okay? So that's not what I'm talking about here. What I am talking about is taking your money and getting 150% every single year from it. Now that's amazing, right? And that is a true thing. And I'm gonna teach you right now, but remember, things take time to work out. Again, this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not gonna happen tomorrow, not next year, not the year after that. It's going to take time. It might take you less time depending on the level of sacrifice, but again, it still takes an appropriate amount of time. So the very first thing is, guys, one of the best investments when it comes to when you're broke you can make is investing in a skill. Now, the average skill in America, which you can buy, costs around $10,000 to $40,000, okay? Now, what I mean by this is you can get, for example, a license, a degree, or a trade job. These are all skills. Now, I wish I can just go, for example, to a store, pay for the skill, poop, I got it. Nah, doesn't work like that, right? You gotta actually go get the training, learn the skill, practice, and so on, and then be able to actually deliver. A lot of people don't like this, but again, if you're working a full-time job and that job pays you X and you wanna get paid more money, you're not gonna get paid more money working that same job. You're gonna have to level up your skill. So in order to do that, focus on what am I doing with my extra time at home, on the weekends, whatever. Use that time to learn a skill. It's gonna cost you some money initially, but it's going to be a good return. For example, if I spend $40,000 getting a degree, and by the way, don't be an idiot. When it comes to college and all this cool stuff, the answer is if you wanna go to college, if you don't wanna get a trade job, you don't wanna get a license, that's fine. But college is simple. You go first to community college. It's usually going to be very, very cheap, sometimes even free for most people. Now that means basically you get those credits for cheap. And then when you go, for example, to the four-year school, you already got all the cheap credits. So when you actually go there, apply for a bunch of scholarships, at least 200. There are so many opportunities in this country. And then guess what happens? While you're in that college too, doing those 2 years initially, save up money too. So when you go there, you can save up a lot of money and pay and graduate without any debt. But let's say you invested $40,000 into this skill, into this career, and please don't pick something that you just like. Pick something you like, you're good at, and it's gonna make you money. If you like singing or theater or whatever, if you can't find a job with it, I don't care. It's not gonna make you any money. So do research before you invest your time and your money into a skill. So if I pick accounting, for example, which by the way, I went to school for accounting, and I invested $40,000 into this degree, the answer is, well, if I put in $40,000 and I make every single year $60,000, that's 150% on my money. That's not bad. That's a good return. And you know what happens when you make more money? The answer is, I was working the same 8 hours, doing this job, making X, but now I work the same 8 hours, being an accountant, and I make a lot more than that. That's cool. That gives you a lot more freedom to play with, so now you can do a lot more with your money, okay? The best investment, the best return is gonna come from putting your money and time into a skill. Whether it takes you 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, it's going to be worth it. I think it took my uncle almost 7 years to get his first degree. My uncle's rich now, okay? It takes time. Now, by the way, he's a professor, so he likes what he does. I'm not telling you to take 7 years to get a degree. If you can do it faster, do it faster. Just get the skill. Now, the second investment you can make, even when you're broke, is basically you can invest in knowledge. People don't like this, but it's very true. I can grab $1, $10, $5, and I can buy a book written by a rich person that tells me how they made their money, all of their money, all their secrets, all of the mistakes. And you know why I know that? Because that's how I got here, by reading a lot, by taking advantage of all of that information. And you know what happens when you read a $10 book about investing and they tell you how to make investments, how not to make investments, mistakes to avoid? You avoid all of those mistakes and you basically just learn a lot faster. That saves you so much time, so much money. So get into the habit of every single day. I'm not saying every other day, I'm saying every single day. Get into the habit of reading and learning something. Not trash and nonsense like, oh, I just learned today that, you know, in Switzerland, the chocolate comes from Dominican Republic. The answer is, cool fact. Does that help you? Probably not. learn things that are gonna make you better at your skill. If you're an accountant, every single day, learn about accounting, learn about GAAP, learn about this, learn about that, learn about everything you can so then you can become better at it. And guess what? When you're the best, you get paid even more, which is actually super cool. Now, that's that as far as knowledge. The third investment is I want you to invest in a long-term mindset that's going to grant you flexibility. I'm not talking about stocks. I'm not talking about real estate. I'm not talking about, for example, passive income. I'm talking about setting up your life with this long-term mindset, understanding that you're going to be here for a while. So take the steps necessary so you don't mess up the whole thing. So for example, a lot of people, when they graduate college, they get a skill, whatever they're going through, they want to start investing money. So they start investing money, but they have a bunch of debt and they don't have any emergency account. So something happens, they got to stop their investments. They got to take the money out. They got to put it into the emergency account. They got to do this, they got to do that. And every single month when they get paid, they got to pay this person. The answer is focus. Have a locked in mindset. The key to success is creating less friction in the places that really matter. So for example, think about this. Just do one thing at a time. If you focus first on eliminating all your debts except the mortgage, that means whenever you get paid, all that money is yours. Well, yours and Uncle Sam's, but that's different. We all have to pay money to live in the world we live in. That's actually a good thing. Now, second, once you're debt free, which takes some time, everything takes time. Remember, you're an oak tree, it takes time. Number two, focus on saving up for an emergency account. This will give you stability. It means you don't have to rely on anybody else because if you lose your job, you have 3 to 6 months in there to basically do whatever you have to do. When you put the money for the emergency account, put it in a high yield savings account, but make sure you're actually able to take that money out whenever you actually need it. Don't worry about getting, for example, the highest return. That money is not for investing, that money is for safety. Now, once you're done with basically doing that too, what you want to do next is you focus on investing into retirement. So that's 10 to 20% of your income. Now, if you put that, for example, into a Roth IRA, into the S&P 500 that has a return of around 11%, and you put in 15% of your income, over time, 20 years, 30 years, you're gonna have a bunch of money inside of that account. But as you're doing that from every single paycheck, every single week when you get paid, or bi-weekly or monthly, you also wanna focus on saving up to buy your own property. When you buy a property you can afford. I use a rule. It's called the 33% rule on a 15-year mortgage, where the house you buy is no more than a third of your monthly income on a 15-year mortgage. This way, you limit yourself to a house that's not that expensive, but you can actually pay it off a lot faster. And if you do this correctly, you could be done with this entire game in 10 to 15 years. Again, it sounds like a lot of time, and I know, but overall, think about it. How many people do you know that have been working for 30 years, 25 years, 40 years, and they still don't have anything? But this plan puts you in a better spot so you can actually be able to get there a lot faster. And it's not like saying like, oh, you don't do anything until you get there. No, you can still take 5% of your money whenever you get paid and have fun with it, or 10%, whatever you want to do, right? And you take that money and you grab it, you have fun, you go on vacations, but you focus on the deadline. You focus on the mission and the journey. That's the idea. And lastly, guys, I want to give you guys final note here. I know for a fact a lot of people are going to be disappointed with this video because it's not about stocks. It's not about, for example, real estate. It's not about, oh, do this very quickly and just grab your money and invest $1. No, because overall, the best investment you can make when you're broke is going to come from investing in a better skill in yourself, investing into knowledge, and then finally you get into everything else. But when you're super broke, you have a little bit of money, you have a little bit amount of money, well, investing like that, it's gonna work, but it's gonna take so long, and over time, it's gonna be so hard and difficult. So that's why I advise you the way I advise you, okay? Now, guys, comment down below. I made it, so I know you made it to the point in the video right now. And as always, guys, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified. On top of that, up here is another video, and over here is my Facebook, subscribe, and as always, Long Term Team officially out.